Well, we've finally gotten the results. Mehmet Oz, the television doctor running in the Republican primary in Pennsylvania, has won that Republican primary and will face the Democratic primary winner, John Fetterman. Dave McCormick, the candidate with whom Oz was in a virtual tie, has conceded. NPR can now report Dr. Oz wins the Senate primary in Pennsylvania after McCormick concedes. Republican Dave McCormick conceded Friday to celebrity Dr. Mehmet Oz in Pennsylvania's Senate primary as the state conducted a recount of the May 17 election. According to the AP, Oz led McCormick by 972 votes. Final results were expected early next week. In remarks to supporters on Friday, McCormick said he could not make up the deficit in the recount. Today, I called Mehmet Oz to congratulate him on his victory, said McCormick, and I told him what I always told you. I will do my part to try to unite Republicans and Pennsylvanians behind his candidacy, behind his nomination for Senate. Of course, Oz was endorsed by Trump. Oz tweeted, I received a gracious phone call from David McCormick and am tremendously grateful for his pledge of support in the fall election. We share the goal of a brighter future for Pennsylvania and America. Also relevant, and as a reminder, we've covered this, Fetterman is recovering from a stroke he suffered days before the primary, needed to undergo a pacemaker implant procedure, has since not returned to the campaign trail and has only done video appearances since. David Brody from Real America's Voice, he tweeted as a result of this concession by Dave McCormick, all hail the all-powerful Trump. Not sure I would be going with the Hail Trump stuff myself. Last time I saw Hail Trump, it was Richard Spencer at a white nationalist meeting doing the Hitler salute and saying Hail Trump, with people in the crowd doing the same thing. In terms of the eventual general election race, there's really no good polling yet in terms of Oz versus Fetterman. Pennsylvania Senate, Oz versus Fetterman on Real Clear Politics. They have it merely as a toss-up right now. And in 2016, the Republican Pat Toomey won by 1.6. In 2010, the Republican Pat Toomey won by 2. This is an open seat now, an open seat. And we are going to be very strongly supporting John Fetterman. Now, this is an opportunity to have a very real conversation about the concentration of resources. And we dealt with this a little bit last week on the Friday mailbag. There are endless races in which any of us could invest time and or money. Now, you never count anybody out. You want to support good candidates. But we also sometimes have to make hard choices when there are limited resources. And I'm just going to give you an example, and I'm not telling you what to do, but this is a real question. Marcus Flowers is the challenger to Marjorie Taylor Greene in the Georgia, I believe it's the 14th district that Greene is running in. That's an outrageously red district. Statistically, it's very unlikely that Marcus Flowers has a shot. But you could invest time and money in that race as a progressive. You also have Fetterman v. Oz in Pennsylvania. That race could quite literally decide who controls the Senate starting in January of 2023. So I never say count anyone out. I never say don't work on races that are important to you. But at a certain point, we also have to consider that with limited resources, which race is most likely to make a difference. An almost certainly unwinnable race against Marjorie Taylor Greene in the Georgia 14th, or the Fetterman versus Oz race in the Pennsylvania Senate. Well, I think that the facts tell us it's almost certainly the latter. So just something to keep in mind as we go forward here. If you're using traditional toilet paper and paper towels, you're probably cutting down trees from North American old growth forests. And I've talked about before, we don't want to be doing that. Also, they come wrapped in single-use plastic. That's also a mess. And the solution is Real Paper. This is a sponsor I feel great about. Real Paper makes paper towels and toilet paper from fast-growing bamboo, not from virgin tree fibers from forests. Using bamboo prevents soil erosion, it prevents habitat loss, and importantly, it's a major impact on carbon. Real Paper also uses no plastic packaging. So we often talk about what can we do? Corporations need to do many things, but what can we do to help the environment? This is an easy thing. And I made the switch to Real Paper at home. I can't tell the difference. Everybody buys toilet paper. Everybody buys paper towels. This is one you can actually feel good about. And you can use the code PACMAN for 30% off your first shipment when you sign up for a subscription at realpaper.com/PACMAN. The link is down below.